Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and welcome back, Ms. Kendall. The Interior Department's Office of Inspector General found no evidence of misconduct or political interference in the ongoing stream protection rulemaking. Now, that should have been the end of it, should have been case closed, but my Republican colleagues seem to have trouble accepting facts that contradict their conspiracy theories. So now we are badgering the investigator once again for not confirming what Republicans want to be true, but just isn't. The OIG's report and supporting documents provided to this committee contain some redactions requested by the Department of Interior. And according to the OIG, these redactions concern the substance of the ongoing stream protection rulemaking, which the Department identified as pre-decisional and privileged. They are irrelevant, however, to the central question of whether the Interior Department officials acted improperly in this rulemaking. And on that question, we have all the information we need. The Interior Department has produced roughly 14,000 pages of documents to this committee on the rulemaking. Contractors who worked on the rulemaking also provided the committee with 25 hours of audio recordings, meetings with federal regulators, and now we have the Office of Inspector General's findings, including supporting documents and interview transcripts with key players that are mostly unredacted. The OIG has told the chairman that the still redacted information is irrelevant to the majority's oversight interest. Ms. Kendall explained in a letter this past May that, quote, when we become aware of fraud and other serious problems, abuses, and deficiencies relating to the administration of programs and operations, we ensure such information is presented in a timely manner to the relevant congressional committees. As we have repeatedly advised, however, we did not find fraud or other serious problems with respect to the ongoing rulemaking process. The OIG report confirmed the findings of a Democratic staff report issued more than 2 years ago. We have learned nothing new this entire Congress. So let me be clear. The minority believes that congressional oversight is essential for a well-functioning government. And where there is a legitimate, well-founded interest in executive branch documents, we would and will support and work with the majority to obtain those documents. The problem here is this investigation has no purpose. The majority has just demanded documents for the sake of demanding documents. It's another example where they seem to prefer to have the issue so we can fight about it instead of having the information. This is clearly wasteful. The Interior Department has spent more than $2 million and diverted roughly 34,000 hours of staff time dealing with the chairman's document demands. But it also threatens to erode our system of executive branch oversight. So there are much more serious implications to what we're doing here. The Inspector General's office sometimes faces difficulty obtaining access to records, especially privileged records, but this OIG has obtained memorandum from every Interior Secretary since Gail Norton, directing Department employees to provide all requested information to the OIG, including privileged information. Now, if the OIG were to do as the majority demands and release all information identified as privileged by the Department, it could compromise the ability of this Inspector General and future Inspector Generals to obtain sensitive information and conduct effective investigations in the future. Now, the Chairman's issued a whopping 11 subpoenas over the last 2 Congresses. Subpoenas are sometimes necessary, but when they're handed out like Halloween candy, their force is diminished and we in Congress become easier to ignore. That's especially true when the subpoenas are frivolous like the one we're talking about here today. Indeed, it is telling that at the end of this Congress, we're having a hearing about documents and nothing that actually matters to the American people. The sad truth is that the majority's investigations have taught us nothing important. They have caused nothing to improve. We leave this Congress as we started, demanding documents without purpose and wasting everyone's time.